Hey everybody, IA Command here. I'm here with Brian, who's going to be talking about his experience at Gen Con Nationals, right? Okay, so it's like one step to the side of Nationals. I think it was was it North American Championships?
Correct.
Oh, okay, nice. So, so tell us how the tournament went for you. How if you anything you did before the tournament, and then maybe tell us about who was there, how many people were there.
Well, I didn't really do much. It was a Thursday morning start, so got to the hotel, pre-checked in, and grabbed my stuff. And it was early enough. I just sat in the gaming hall waiting for it to start. Try to avoid the mob of people.
Mm. Brian,
Uh,
tell me where you're from and how long you've been playing IA for.
so I'm from the Grand Haven, Michigan area, and I've been playing since I want to say it was just before Jabba's Realm came out. That was the first big box expansion for me.
Okay, nice. So, do you know how many people were at the tournament?
There was 19 people.
Okay, not too bad for Imperial Assault. Um, so let's talk about your list here. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen for the viewers. All right, so you went with Rebels,
Yep.
and
Ran
go ahead.
Han, Drakata, Sabine, the three-headed monster.
Yeah, Han and Sabine are kind of like the best figures in Rebels right now. Would you agree?
That's- Uh, I think Drakata's up there. I'd probably take if I had to pick one. I would probably take Drakata over Sabine
Okay.
because Drakata can just do so much.
Mm-hmm. And then you got Hera in there to provide support to your three big range figures.
Yep.
And let's see, you got Gideon 3PO, the package with R2 for card draw. And it looks like you went with Doubt and extra armor.
Correct.
So who are you putting your extra armor tokens on most of the time?
So every mission but fluctuations, I usually go 2 blocks Han, 2 blocks Drakata. On fluctuations, I put the blocks on Sabine because typically I can move 8 spaces for Han to get a evade
Mm,
on the blue fluctuation.
that makes sense. Um, and then let's look at your command cards. All right, so we've got pretty standard, a lot of it. Let's see, on the lamb, of course. Arcing shot and collateral damage for Drakata. Um, let's see, anything that's kind of like a deviation or something that you got a lot of use out of.
I mean, arcing shot was pretty clutch. There's a lot of ways to hide, so arcing shot definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Collateral damage is really nice to just like you finish off somebody that tried to hide. So I always like using that as like the icing on the cake. But heightened reflexes did me pretty good with just like throwing a dodge or that little just enough block to live. I mean, it's a one and done Sabine card, so I have to keep her alive, but it helps her attack out a lot to be able to push some damage through.
Yeah, so I am noticing you have three cards in here that are tied to one figure in your list: the heightened reflexes, and then the arcing shot and the collateral damage. Did you ever like draw those after a figure died, or what? You have heroic effort though, so you just cycle them away.
Yeah, with heroic effort, it's nice because like if Sabine dies, I'm staying on heightened reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
I just get a new card and just drop heightened reflexes to the bottom.
Nice.
So
That's pretty cool. Um, what was your kind of experience with the meta going into the tournament? Because I think this is the first big event that we've had since the Spectre Cell nerf happened.
Uh, yeah, because Europeans was before the nerf technically happened.
Mm-hmm.
But so the issue with Gen Con is there's not really ever a meta. because usually there's enough people that are there for like fun.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see with Mern making it to top 2, and like there's a lot of like one and done lists where people like the skilled players are taking like a what would be deemed a suboptimal list.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to build a meta off Gen Con. Usually it's better off like the Nova or Worlds, but usually Scum Hunters always makes a presence.
Mm-hmm.
Something Rebel, usually Vader. I was anticipating a lot of Vader, but there was I only knew like one Vader that showed up.
I don't know if we even saw any in the cut.
So no, there's no Imperials in the cut that I know of.
Yeah, that was a big surprise to me. But okay, so let's talk about your tournament run then. Do you kind of remember who you played during the Swiss?
Yeah, I did. So round 1, I played against my buddy Peter,
Mm-hmm.
who's one of the from part of the Michigan group. We played on the Gangsters mission. So he started off way ahead of me. So we're running almost the same list. He runs diplomatic, mission, and heavy fire instead of doubt and extra armor. But he jumped out to a huge lead based on like extra objective points, and then I came back and ended up like getting a couple lucky shots on his figures. We had, I think, like the middle of the game, there was like 4 dodges in a row between the 2 of us. We couldn't land an attack to save our life. And then I finally start inching forward, and I end up passing him, and I end up winning. I want to say by like 2 or 3 points at the end.
Oof! Wow. So that's a close first round. Okay, so then second round.
So round 2, I played against Ron. He runs Pastimes over in Chicago.
Pastime games. Yeah.
So he's been playing for a while. He brought almost like a Scum Heroes list. He had IG, Vinto, Greedo, and then he had some hired guns. And we're playing on Tarkin, the one where the objectives move, which I was not a fan because he didn't open his door, so we just like sat there behind his door. And I didn't want to rush out there with IG throwing Blaze, so we sort of just like camped there, but all his figures kept getting like the lucky objective hops. He's like scoring all these points, and then finally he opened his door, and then I was able to actually use my offense, and I ended up coming back to win with a huge shot on IG.
Nice. So he was getting a lot of points with the hired guns on those AI jumps, but then you got the kills on him.
Yep.
Nice. All right, so round 2 win against Scum, and then round 3.
So round 3 was against Bobby. I forgot his last name. I think Wagner or something with a W. He was running Scum list, but he has a Jabba list, but he had the elite Gamorrean guards, which I automatically was like, there's respect points because nobody ever runs the guards. And I think the guards they're really good.
They're tanky, yeah.
I mean, 8 health, and you're guaranteed a block off a range shot. So I mean, they're surviving.
They got 2 reds with reach.
So we played on Blitz, and I rushed all my figures. I had the indoors. He had the outdoors, and I rushed everybody to the right-hand terminal side. And then he was like rushing all his figures, some figures to the terminal, and then he put like everybody else to the other side. So I ended up killing round 1. I killed a Weequay, 2 Weequays, and a pig.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I'm doing good. Like, this isn't horrible. Like, I'm going to survive. And then he had all the objective points. So he had like 12 points on objective. So I'm like, I just killed 3 figures, and it's a tie game.
Which mission was this?
Blitz.
Oh, on Blitz. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So he had the side away from the cross, and he's scoring all these objective points. And then, so then I was I'm like, oh shoot, I need to like do something about it. So I start venturing out. It was real close, and he was about to win, but I moved Hera up to the cross and shot, because I don't know why he rushed Jabba 8 spaces. He put Jabba between the terminal and the objective point, and just like tanked him right there. So the last round, I shot Hera shot and did 4 damage, and then Dracata went in front of Hera to do the final 6 damage to kill Jabba to win it. Because if Jabba didn't die, he would have won the game.
Wow.
So that was another nail biter.
Close one. Okay, so that was round. What do we say?
3.
So round 4.
That was round 3. Yep. So round 4, I had to play John Grasser, and it would have been Tarkin weapons, and we're both 3-0. I think we're one of the few 3-0s, and he already made the cut. We both did, so he didn't really want to play. So he just conceded the game and then went over to do, I think, Legion. Okay. So I ended up going 4-0 on Swiss, and then he was out playing Legion. So yeah.
As you do. Okay, great. So that was day 1, right?
Correct.
It was 5 rounds, or 4 rounds of Swiss?
4 rounds.
Okay, so you make it into the top 8.
Yep.
Okay, so then do you remember your game from the quarterfinals, day 2?
Yeah. So the first round, the top 8 cut, I played John Wolin, who I played, I want to say, at the Chicago Regional as well. So like we're familiar with each other. We played X-Wing against each other, and it was on a fluctuation, and he was running like double hired guns, Vinto, like just every scum figure you can possibly run.
Like a swarm.
He also had BT in there. He threw BT, so it was like IG, Onar, BT, like 2 hired guns.
Wow. So
a lot of firepower.
Nice.
But we ended up going. We both ran to the objective side on the cross, and then I moved Sabine to the bottom of the cross at the solid line spot, and then he had IG directly in front of me on the other side of the cross. But he messed up, and he parked IG 3 spaces away from Onar, and round 2 I went up and like lit him up, focused Sabine with grenade, shot IG, and I played heightened reflexes, did like a whole bunch of damage, but he was too far away for Onar's extra protection or the boost
to get down.
So IG was crippled pretty quick, and then after that he just sort of had to like retreat. So then I'm facing an IG list with no IG because he doesn't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
So then my other figures just came in at like a real nice arcing shot on Onar, ended up like killing Onar, and I ended up taking that one.
Nice. The positioning's so critical sometimes.
Yep, 1 space can win it for you.
All right, so you make it into the semifinals, top 4.
Correct. Yep.
So who did you play against in that one?
So top 4 played against Patrick Christians, who ended up winning it. His Jawa swarm was not fun on the posters.
Oh, on the mall map.
Correct. Yeah, Coruscant. Luckily for me, I drew negation round 1, so he played Rebel Graffiti, so I could get rid of that. So that was key, because if that would have got through, he would have won the game sooner.
And he had 6 Jawas in his list. Is that right?
Yep. It was IG. Was it? Or not IG. It was Sabine, Hondo, Jabba, Chopper, 3PO, 6 Jawas, and Black Market. He had 11 activations.
11 activations. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, and it was on the posters, so he's probably just controlling all the posters on the map.
Yep. I want to say he had most of them flipped. I think he had like all of them flipped in like round 2 or 3.
Ugh. Did he even go down into the corner with the double doors?
Yep, he went. He had. Wait, no, no, those ones he didn't do those ones.
Did you guys pull
I
those
lied.
out?
That was yeah. That's the only one he. That's the only one he left for me.
Oh, okay.
So he took all the other ones.
Did he get you with Utini?
I think I want to say he played. Yeah, he played it, but I don't think it worked out. I don't think he had any shots that round.
Mm.
So he might have scored like 1 point off it, but it wasn't. It wasn't like game changing like it should be.
Yeah, because I watched the coverage of the final, and his list is all about getting like tons of victory points just from card effects, and Utini's one of those. You can get like 6 victory points from that 1 point card. So how was it playing against that list? I'm really curious because it kind of looks and feels kind of like a Ugnaught list.
It is and it isn't. So it's swarmy like the Ugnaughts. Like it can do like this. He played it sort of similar. He was very conservative. You keep the Jawas alive until the Utinis and your cards start going out. The difference between the two is the Jawas actually have to go out and do stuff compared to the Ugnaughts who can just let the junk droid do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually had to venture out and make moves happen. But I mean, you got 2 of them that are throwing. I mean, they're all throwing yellow, but you got 2 of them throwing +2 Pierce 2, and then the rest +2. And even if the attack misses, you still score victory point from Utini. It's horrible.
So maybe more comparable to like the Carolina Swarm, the Riot Swarm, then, just like so many bodies worth so little victory points, kind of thing.
That is. I would say that's a good comparison. There's a lot of you spend all this stuff to try to kill somebody, and after the shot, you're doing 2 victory points for killing somebody.
Right. Because they have take cover, so they all get an extra block on defense.
Yep.
They're chipping away at you with those little attacks and getting victory points off of all his like secondary card effects and the map control. Yeah, that one looks pretty good actually. Although I don't know if anybody would. I wonder if he actually bought 6 Jawas or if he like sourced them from people.
He might have. I bought 6 Jawas. So.
Oh, you do? You have 6?
Yep, I got all 6.
Oof, man, I got like 2. That looks like a fun list. Okay, so that was the end of your run.
Yep.
For nationals.
Yep, that was it. He was down like the final round. I made a bad play with Gideon, and Sabine got me with a grenade for the win. So.
Yep. That was a strong list, but you did really well. You were undefeated in Swiss and made it all the way to the semi. So congratulations on your run there.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I think you were second in your faction too. They were giving out like special prizes for top of faction, right?
Oh yeah, there's top 8 by faction and then top 8 overall.
Nice.
So
how was the tournament experience for you? Would you recommend it?
Oh, I would recommend it. I love it. It was I think so. Out of all I've only played for like in terms of like big tournaments. I've done Worlds. I've done Gen Con. I definitely feel that Gen Con is very like unofficially official. Like there's most people that go to Gen Con. We typically everybody knows everybody, or you don't know me, but you know the person I came with.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I think me and John and the top 8. I mean, we're playing for top 8, and we're like walking each other through IG's dice pool for like what attack guarantees act like range, and it's a very casual effect. Like it's not like nobody's really like breathing down your neck about being like over the top, like rules. Like we're very casual. Like, hey, you missed this. So it's a very friendly environment.
I remember hearing Jesse mention that in his coverage on Slack, that people were like helping each other figure out dice pools and reminding opponents of triggers and stuff. It's pretty cool. I think the community is really great for Imperial Assault. So while I have you on, is there anything you want to say about Imperial Assault or any thoughts about the game or about the event?
If they do Gen Con, if they do an event at Gen Con next year, I would recommend it to anybody that wants to play. I wish we had more product. I mean, I guess that's the generic statement for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think Gen Con proves that you can do, with the meta as open as it is, like you can really like pretty much run anything you want to a degree and still make decent performance. Like it's not like at Worlds where it's Spectre or bust in terms of like a lot of people's eyes. It's if you're not running Spectre, you're not going to win. But I think Gen Con always proves that anything can really place well as long as you know what your like the niche is for your list, like what your win con is, and you can stick to it, then anybody can be good.
Do you think after the Spectre Cell nerf, do you think the game's in a better place than it was after Heart of the Empire, but before Tyrants of Lothal?
I mean, I think it's a lot better than pre-nerf. I mean, pre-nerf was pretty cookie cutter with how you approach things. It's you either run Spectre Cell or somebody has an idea that this one list can beat Spectre Cell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice. It's nice to know that it's still. Cause I've played it post nerf, and it's nice to know that it still has like a punter's chance. There's still some firepower in the list. It's just you're not going to walk in and just win.
Right. I think
so definitely it keeps it open.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were saying like, well, once we nerf Spectre, then it's just going to go back to the same meta we had in Heart of the Empire. I'm wondering if that kind of felt like the case, although we saw a lot of Sabine. I think Hondo was in the winning list too, right? So.
Yep, Hondo's in the winning, yeah.
So it kind of feels like a whole new meta. Like we didn't just go back to Han, Vader, IG meta. It's pretty fresh, right?
Yeah, I mean, like out of the 19 players, I think IG might have been the most popular. But out of the uniques. But it wasn't dominating enough that it's like overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's like with the new cards, and then when the meta goes to change, there's enough people that get creative beforehand. They start piecing combos together, like what hasn't been played, what am I overlooking, and now that there's no dominate like top tier list that just reigns supreme, a lot of people they start getting, I say like more creative. You got the 6 Jawa list. For victory points, there's the strain list. You're running Rebel Spies are back again.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's awesome. One last question: you've been playing a lot of standard skirmish to practice for this? Are you excited to play some IACP now that you don't have a nationals or a grand championship coming up anymore?
I've thought about it. I haven't really looked a whole lot into it. I know, like a lot of it is just it's all this new information to remember, like what figures do and things like that. But I know Rebel Troopers look pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. I built a Rebel Troopers list, but that's about as far as I've gotten in the whole IACP.
Nice. Well, I hope you guys continue to have a local scene that's healthy. I know you're from Michigan, right? You said.
Yes.
And then you guys have a pretty healthy skirmish scene up there?
Yeah, we had 7 of the 19 players were from the Michigan crew.
That's awesome. Okay, well, Brian, thanks for coming on the channel and talking about your experience. It was really nice to have you on.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah, all right. I'm logging out.